Good afternoon. Welcome to Yale University and our symposium observing the 20th anniversary of the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. My name is David Simon. I am the acting director of the Genocide Studies Program, which, along with the Council on African Studies and the Schell Center for the Study of International Human Rights, is one of the three sponsors, co-sponsors of this program. The program has been several months in the making, but was born of a recognition that first of all, the Rwandan genocide is something, the genocide against the Tutsis, is something that has influenced us all, touched us all and influenced us all. It's something that almost everybody here, speaking at a university where the youngest students are younger than 20 years old, I now have to make an exception, but almost everybody here was alive when the genocide happened. And almost everyone here who was alive when the genocide happened, especially Americans, I don't think really had the chance to process it at the time. Yet over the last 20 years, the genocide, people have begun to recognize the meaning, the importance of the genocide, the fact that it happened, and what it says about us as Americans, us as Rwandans, us as members of the global community. And so the other reason why we thought it was particularly important to have an observation of some sort of this 20th anniversary was that it seems like an appropriate time to reflect upon the ways in which the global experience of having a genocide, as well as the Rwandan experience, the way that has changed us, the changes, the legacies of that genocide. And so the way the afternoon is organized is that our first panel, which I'll introduce in a moment, will address the international legacies of the genocide, the way that the genocide has influenced, changed international relations. Then at 3 o'clock, there will be coffee available in the common room on the second floor. Get a chance to stretch your legs a little bit, recaffeinate, and we will reconvene at 3:30, where I'd like to focus more on the personal element, the personal side, the personal journey, and the national journey that Rwanda has taken. I'd like to thank you all for taking time out of your day to sit at this, to come to this event and to sit down and confront something that a genocide, a sort of scar on humanity that ordinarily, I suppose it's pretty easy not to address. And I think that being here and having the chance to listen to our esteemed guests it's both a moment of reflection and a moment of construction for us all. We've started just a touch late, so I won't dither on anymore. And rather, I will introduce our first panel by introducing Jim Silk, who is the director of the Schell Center, which is based over at the law school, at Yale Law School. Jim we've worked together with Genocide Studies and the Council of African Studies on a number of events, and it's a delight to have Jim participating in this panel. Without any further ado, I'll let Jim introduce the guests.
Thanks, David. Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's sort of our tradition at the law school to give very short introductions, but I think I will give a little bit longer introductions because I think it's important for everyone to have a sense of why the panel that we have here is such an appropriate panel to be talking about the sort of international legacy of the genocide in Rwanda. So I'm going to go from nearest to me to furthest, and I'm going to begin with Edward Luck. who served as the United Nations first special advisor on the responsibility to protect. He was at the level of Assistant Secretary General and served in that capacity from 2008 to 2012. He was responsible for the conceptual, political, operational, and institutional development of this principle and was the architect of the Secretary General's three-pillar strategy for implementing the responsibility to protect, as well as the prime author of the first four reports on R2P between 2009 and 2012. And clearly the responsibility to protect was one of the concepts and the developments that I think David and I had in mind when we thought about a continuing legacy of the events in Rwanda. Dr. Luck has published many books, particularly on the UN Security Council, on compliance with international law, on U.S. exceptionalism, on arms control, and on the ending of war. I will mention just a couple of the books. One is called On the Endings of War. Another is called Arms Control, the Multilateral Alternative, Mixed Messages, American Politics and International Organizations. He has taught at Columbia, at Princeton, at Sciences Po. He's headed research centers at Columbia and at the Woodrow Wilson School and NYU School of Law. He served as president and CEO of the UN Association of the United States and as a senior vice president of the International Peace Institute. He is also a graduate of Dartmouth College, where he had BA in International Relations and has his MA and PhD in Political Science from Columbia and a Master's in International Affairs, I guess that's what that stands for, from Columbia's School of International and Public Affairs. To his left, from the direction you're facing, is James Traub. He writes a weekly column, Terms of Engagement, for foreignpolicy.com. He's been a staff writer for the New York Times Magazine and previously for the New Yorker. He's written extensively about international affairs, but also about national politics, urban affairs, with a number of books in particular about urban affairs and about New York and about education. He's written, as I said, in the New York Times Magazine, the New Yorker, but in many other publications as well. Recently, he has reported from Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan, Egypt, Iran, Sudan, Guinea-Bissau, Congo, Sierra Leone, Angola, Georgia, Kosovo, and Haiti. Reads kind of like a list of the places in which human rights organizations are required to focus their work. His most recent book is The Freedom Agenda, Why America Must Spread Democracy, parentheses, just not the way George Bush did. He published before that The Best Intentions, Kofi Annan and the UN in the era of American world power. And he's currently writing a biography of John Quincy Adams. He teaches American foreign policy at the NYU University Abu Dhabi as a senior fellow of the Global Center for the Responsibility to Protect, a fellow of the Center on International Cooperation, and a member of the Council on Foreign Relations. And at the end, Zachary Kaufman, Zach to me, but which I will start by mentioning that connection. Zach is a graduate of Yale College and also of Yale Law School, and most recently has been a lecturer in the Department of Political Science at Yale. He's been a visiting fellow with our Schell Center for International Human Rights, Yale's Genocide Studies Program, and the Information Society Project at Yale as well. He is a term member of the Council on Foreign Relations. Before this period of being a fellow at both Harvard and Yale, he was an associate at the law firm of O'Melveny and Myers, but also was in Washington and was also an adjunct professor at George Washington University's Elliott School of International Affairs. Earlier, he worked on the investigation and prosecution of suspected atrocity perpetrators in positions at both the Department of State and the Department of Justice, as well as at the International Criminal Tribunals for Rwanda and for the former Yugoslavia, and at the International Criminal Court. He's the founder and president and chair of the board of the American Friends of the Kigali Public Library, Rwanda's first public library, and I know devoted an enormous amount of time to promoting the establishment of the Kigali Public Library. He's the chair of the advisory board of Indigo Africa, which is a social enterprise based in Rwanda, and is on the boards of Genocide Watch, Humanity in Action, and the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum. He has published 2 books already. He is the editor of Social Entrepreneurship in the Age of Atrocities, and social entrepreneurship has been a real focus of Zach's work. And he's also the co-editor with Dr. Phil Clark of, and I'm looking at the more full title because it's relevant here, After Genocide, Transitional Justice, Post-Conflict Reconstruction and Reconciliation in Rwanda and Beyond. In addition to his degrees from Yale College and Yale Law School, he has his PhD in International Relations from Oxford, where he was a Marshall Scholar. For all of them, I have pages and pages of publications of articles and speaking, and all of it hovering around the issues that we're talking about today. So we're very fortunate to have all of you here, and I think the plan is for each of our panelists to come up and speak for a while, and then we will entertain questions. I might try to get a little conversation started first, then we'll open it up to all of you. So, better luck. Thank you.